Hey, welcome to another episode of Ego on Break. I'm your host, Dynamite J. Andrews. This is the Mississippi Madman, Logan Creed.
Yes, I am.
And today we're just going to talk what's going on in the wrestling world. A lot of stuff going on.
Yeah.
Several things that are probably old by the time this is being seen, but we're going to talk about it anyway because, you know, we're old and slow and all that good stuff. So I think the most important thing that I've seen in the wrestling world, probably the biggest announcement, at least in the area, that guy is going to be in a battle royal.
Yeah.
Mississippi
Madman.
Madman.
Slide the boots and the mask back on for a match, or see where we go from there.
He's already paranoid. He's afraid those opponents are coming to dump him over the top rope.
Are popping back.
So yeah, it's a Widow Fest.
I got a text and I was
Battles
like,
on Championship Wrestling.
should I or shouldn't I?
I recommended you. They were looking for some guys. They hit me up to see if I wanted to do it. I told them I had some family stuff going on, wasn't able to do it, but I said, hey, hit these guys up. So I threw your name out there, threw Bulldog's name out there. So it's cool to see both of y'all be able to do it.
Yeah.
And I think it's going to be a fun little fun time.
I'm really curious about getting there with Julius.
Yep.
Or,
So
what is he?
RJW.
RJW.
The
My
Judge.
bad. I'm sorry. I know him as his other name. Yeah, the Judge. I'm like to see what he's got. And I don't know who all else is in it. So,
I know Tommy Morrow has been announced.
Never have touched.
Y'all tagged though once.
Tagged one time. They don't really count as wrestling. Last I checked.
They counted as falling.
I've kind of sucking.
Top rope.
5 years later, I'm still like,
Stupid.
yeah, very stupid. Gravity.
But in real, not real wrestling news, but other wrestling news, Cody Rhodes leaves AEW. That's big. Seeing how he kind of helped start it.
Yeah.
Is it official where he's going, or is it just rumored?
Some people still think it's a work, and there's a lot of people saying it's real as I'll get out. And they couldn't come to terms on money because he wanted CM Punk money and Bryan Danielson money.
Right.
And Tony was wanting him to basically go heel because everybody out there is booing the hell out of him, and he didn't want to go heel.
Yeah.
That's from my understanding. He was trying to be Hulk Hogan, like, I've got too much stuff going on with kids, I can't do this. And he's like, well, if they're not cheering you out here, you're not John Cena. You can't get by with what you're doing.
Right.
You just took a flaming table and they still booed you.
Yeah.
And nobody cared.
No
and they
sympathy.
Boo your wife.
Your wife got more.
You.
Yeah, your wife got more energy off of that. Whether it was good energy, bad energy, she got more talk off of it.
So,
like you came across as just like, that was stupid.
He comes across as he's like, his character should have been, I want to be the hero of the company and be a heel, but he wouldn't do it.
He could have went heel like Kurt Angle, like
yes, easily.
And I think what happened is Cody was at one time a big fish in a small pond, and then
a lot of bigger fish got coming in,
and then the bigger fish came in. Yeah,
like he come in with Malachi Black. I've seen some of the feud. If anything, it lowered Malachi Black. It did not look good. It didn't help.
And to me, Cody as a babyface, like he needed a particular style of guy.
Yeah.
He can't just work with any heel. Like it just doesn't work. So like Cody should have had and this is just me, like lack of a better thought, but like Dungeon of Doom type guys. You know what I mean? Like send in the earthquakes and the Yetis and King Kong Bundys and stuff, like
beat the monsters.
I mean, like him and Brody Lee was good, because Brody was a believable, larger-than-life heel when it compared to Cody. Because Cody's not a small guy.
No, he's like 6'4", I think.
So to come in with guys his size, I don't think, like Cody doesn't work, and he definitely doesn't work well with younger guys. Mm-hmm. Even though that's what, like he did good with them, but it doesn't.
He buried that.
It doesn't match. Yeah. You know what I mean? But if you gave Cody, like Lance Archer would have been a great guy for Cody.
Yeah,
because that way Cody could fall from underneath.
But a lot of people though, they just he went to the game show.
Yep.
Then he got his own little want to be Hulk Hogan type show, and what was it? Hogan Knows Best.
Yeah.
I don't know what Cody's was called.
Roads to the Top. Or something.
There you
go.
But and
never saw it, but
I haven't either, and have no desire to see it. But I mean, a lot of people said he come off very arrogant on the show. They said his wife comes off very arrogant on the show. Some people basically like, okay, this is the real him, so we don't like you, and they started booing him.
And a lot of it was like, he's here today, not here for 8 weeks, and he comes back, and he's and that hurt a lot as well.
So. He's not Brock Lesnar. I'm sorry. Brock is a name that walks in the door, and you're like, oh, shit, it's Brock Lesnar. So they turn on the TV.
I mean, like,
it's Cody again.
Yeah, like the bad guy would come to like the general managers and like threaten them and stuff. Like that should have been like Cody. Cody should have been like, hey, everybody knows I run stuff. So, like, should have had those people coming after him versus him being out there and just having matches. Like, he's a wrestler that needed a story, and he was trying to be a wrestler who just showed up and wrestled.
And it got to a point, at one point, not toward the end, because she was pregnant for a while.
Yeah.
But in his matches before she got pregnant, you always knew Brandy was coming. And nobody liked Randy.
Right. So, if anything, he could have went heel on Brandy and we got babyface pops for sure.
Well, everybody knew, but now you got a television show, you can.
Yeah, that's true.
So,
yeah, sometimes it's
detrimental.
They say you never want to have all your eggs in one basket, but sometimes you could have too many eggs or too many baskets and not enough eggs. But yeah, so that's big news. Tony Khan buys ROH.
Yeah,
that's huge. I'm torn. Because I can see where they really screw it up.
I'm scared.
But also I could see, like, someone said, yeah, but it's better than them dying. And I'm like, the potential is of them to be better than them dying is there. But if they died, they would have had a hell of a legacy. You know what I mean?
One thing I read earlier, and I don't know if this is going to be true. I think this is kind of a theory of somebody's, with that ROH will be their version of NXT.
Yep, I've heard that too.
And I'm like, God, I hope not.
But we watched a lot of like AEW Dark and stuff, and there's a lot of guys that they could take, put in a show all by itself, and be good. So what I would love to see is like Tony say, I bought it, but I've got these guys that were there at day one, Daniel Bryan and Christopher Daniels, and take Daniels and go, Daniels, like, you're basically part time, you run this.
I would have him and Delirious, because Delirious was our booker forever.
So I mean, depending on the decisions he makes, you know what I mean. I'm more curious of how this is going to turn out.
I just don't want
than I am of AEW.
I don't want to be WCW gets bought by WWE and then it vanishes.
Right.
Because the Ring of Honor, man, I mean, I didn't say I grew up on it, but I aged with it, especially through my wrestling career.
Yeah, I mean, we were babies in wrestling coming out, and Ring of Honor was, it was the Saturday morning cartoon.
And DVDs and everything else. Every time we'd get one, we'd watch it together and all that mess.
And I'm definitely going to miss it for sure.
I don't want it to become AEW Dark, like you were saying. I want it to be Ring of Honor.
I mean, if they keep it.
Don't put AEW on anywhere, and let it have its own damn roster and do its own damn thing.
That's my thing. Is like if feed the young guys there. Hey, I'm okay with that.
You think that becomes AEW Dark?
I think
ROH.
I think there's going to be a line. On this side of the line is going to be really good decisions. On this side of the line is going to be horrible decisions. You know what I mean?
I'm scared of it. I'm really honest to God.
I think within the first 5 or 6 big decisions that you see Tony make, you'll go, okay, this is going to be okay, or this is going to be horrible. So will this be remembered as WWE's version of ECW?
That's what I've read that a couple of times today. I'm like, wow.
I
hope not, man.
I mean, people have fond memories of ECW.
But I've seen some of the stuff he's done with the ROH guys that he signed, and it's all AEW.
Again, like
he had Black Machismo, Jay Lethal on one time on the Dynamite show, and he hasn't been seen
again.
since.
But if you have a roster of 300 guys,
but I'm sorry, Jay is one of those guys.
There's no way.
Too good.
There's no way to do. There's no way to treat guys quality when there's 300 guys, and you're steady signing people.
I don't know. They got a lot of people that aren't as good as they think they are, and I think he needs to start doing a little. And he has with a few.
Yeah, I mean he's firing nobody. He's letting contracts run out.
Yeah.
We've seen Marco Stunt's
I don't think he's technically fired anybody. I think he's just letting the contracts go.
That's it. I mean, I guess the closest thing is like Big Swole, but that was more of like mutual agreement type thing.
And then she went off on him. So, the only other time was the Me Too movement but he's like, I gotta get rid of y'all. You did this crap, not me.
And who was that?
Multiple people.
Oh yeah, I don't even remember.
when all the sexual stuff was being brought up.
Yeah, but I don't remember who left.
There was too many.
The only guy I remember leaving is the English guy.
Yeah.
What's his name? The hardcore guy?
Havoc.
Yeah. Jimmy Havoc.
Yeah, Jimmy Havoc was one, and I can't remember any of the other ones. But it was just one of the. I'm just saying he's one of them. But at the point, he was seeing TV all the time.
Mm-hmm. I know, like Sammy Guevara had to go do like therapy or some stuff.
Or some words he said like 10 years ago or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
But
I hope all these people don't get canceled. It's on Smoky Mountain Wrestling we're reviewing, because there's a lot of stuff being said on there that probably doesn't age well.
They probably did. I mean, some of them.
Dutch Mantel, you said women with tattoos are bad. We're canceling you.
But I don't know. I didn't say it. I don't mind tattoos.
Yep.
So.
But so that's huge news. I think that's some of the biggest news out there, right?
Yeah. Probably the biggest right now.
I know this has happened for a while now, but have you caught any of NXT 2.0?
Very, very little.
Yeah, me too.
When I watched one match and the girl was wrestling pajamas and had taken naps at points during the match, I was like, I can't watch this crap. I'm serious as hell. I don't know her name. I don't care about her name. But if that's what you're going to put in front of me, I can't watch it.
So that's kind of the equivalent of, put your hands in your pocket, huh?
Bro, that ain't put your hands in your pocket. That's turn off the damn TV. That's awful. Why would you do this? And from everything I've seen before she did this, she's a good worker. It's just a bad gimmick. More comedy. And that ain't even comedy. That's just stupidity.
I don't know. Like it's just what I guess 3 years ago now, we were like, oh man, what a time to be a wrestling fan. And now we're like,
yeah, on some of it for sure.
I legit think, and it's something, if I run shows again, which I plan to run shows again, I want to lean more toward I'm gonna say, if wrestling in the 1970s was today. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Where less unbelievable, more believable, and just see what happens. Because I truly think if there's a really big boom in wrestling, it's going to be realism, not entertainment.
Well, from everything I've understood, when Paul Heyman was talking about if he would have went to TNA and he had become the producer, everything would have been kind of MMA push style of a wrestling show.
Like, I don't know if I want to be like, knockouts and tap outs for every finish.
Like Thatcher?
Yeah.
Basically his style. They were doing that in Evolve with a couple of
and I think it's just those companies just didn't have the marketing machines.
They got bought by WWE, and they were supposed to be like, okay, we're going to use y'all like an NXT, and it's never.
I mean, I think they still even have shows?
No.
Yeah, I didn't think so. I mean, I don't know so, but
not that I know of.
Unless they're just like on the network.
There's some stuff on the network, but it's not like Evolve. I mean, it's old Evolve shows.
I got you.
Recorded old Evolve. I watched a few.
Nothing new, huh?
But nothing, not that I've seen. But I mean, I get so tired. Like, it gets to where if it's a pay-per-view, I have to hear about a match and know somebody else watched it and be like, should I watch it? And they're like, yeah. Because like I watched Elimination Chamber. Terrible pay-per-view.
Yeah.
Absolutely terrible.
I don't know, man.
I can't watch it. That's why I asked you, let's go in and watch something older and see if we can find something worth anything. And we found Smoky Mountain Wrestling. That was just me because I said, let's try it. And I've enjoyed it so much damn more than I do modern wrestling.
And I like this because we're watching episode per episode per episode. So
and it's new to us.
Yeah, you get that. Well, you get that, this is how they progress things then versus how they progress now. Yes. Like, now, it's hard. And again, I don't watch enough week to week to week to even have a voice in this conversation.
Me and you used to
but it just seems really,
everything.
Yeah, it just seems like things just don't flow together, if that makes sense.
And now that they've lost so many people, they fired Cesaro. Who in the hell thought
Cesaro?
He let his contract
resign,
run back. Yeah. But, I mean, this guy is one of the guys that, even Steve Austin, Mick Foley I've seen, Mick Foley's like, y'all really dropped the ball on this. He's like, one of my favorite things I did last time I did the general manager was doing him and Sheamus's, best of 7 feud.
Yeah.
But
where do you want to see Cesaro end up?
If they do Ring of Honor the right way, I would like to see him go to Ring of Honor and be like one of the top stars there. I would personally not put him in AEW.
No, I would love to see him.
They need some star power in ROH.
NWA.
Or NWA? No, that wouldn't be bad.
Taylor fit. Now, the last couple times I tried to watch NWA, I was not a fan of it.
No, some of it I would be, and then some of it I wouldn't.
He could be, if done right, he could be the spark to ignite it. Like,
well, you know who their new champion is, right?
Zack Ryder, right?
Yes,
Matt Cardona.
Cardona.
I don't hate that because I saw a little thing with him, but he's got like Mike Knox with him, and I just I don't like that. Like, it's too hee hee ha ha.
And now it's going to be him and oh God, I went blank. What was their old champion?
Magnus,
yes.
Whatever his name. Nick Aldis.
Thank you. But they're going to fight the show coming up. I'd love to win if my tax stuff went to hell. But yeah, they're going to be right up here in Tennessee. And it looks like a hell of a show. I mean, it looks really, really good. So that's why I say, even though we lose, I ain't going to say losing ROH. Hopefully not. But right now, you do got NWA. They're trying.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna say they're hitting the home run.
But
MOW's trying, and their stuff, some of the stuff I've seen lately looks really good. What's his name? Purified Air. He turned on Hammerstone. I watched that match. So, that was pretty cool.
I tried to watch an episode of MOW, and this is what turned me off. 100% turned me off. Was babyface Joseph Fatu.
I haven't seen that.
He went from I'm a motherfucker, I'll set you on fire, to man, it's real hard out here in the streets. I'm from the streets, man, and it's hard when I see my friend's cousin's brother's nephew get shot, man. I watch him bleed, which I am not underplaying that at all. Like, that messes with your head.
Yeah.
But when it comes from a guy that was just setting you on fire and laughing at you,
wow. I haven't seen a full show.
And the only thing I can kind of think of is Man on a Mission Fatu or whatever. Like, remember that?
Yeah, it was like a say no to drugs, dare type scenario. Yeah.
And that's what he's doing. And bruh, like, they're trying to get to know Fatu. So they're like these series of 1, 2, and 3, and this was number 3.
Excuse me.
Man, I do not want to see Joe's Fatu going, gee golly. Man, you know, that stuff Contra did was really bad, and I was only doing it, you know, because I'm from the streets, and, you know, if I didn't have to fight to survive, I probably would have done better. If I'd only just been, you know, a poor little rich kid, I would have been okay, but, you know, these streets are hard, man. It's hard living. You know, I go to the store and get a juice, you know, because that's what we drink, juice, because we couldn't afford nothing else. We got a juice and a Black and Mild, a Philly Blunt, and a dime bag and some Coke. Man, it was hard on these streets, boy. I'm like, get the
I ain't seen this, dude.
You know what
I'm about to go check it out.
Nope. Ain't doing it. And I was a huge MLW guy.
You at least got me curious. I want to see what the hell he's doing.
Go watch. Just YouTube Joseph Fatu MLW episode 3 of his life or something.
I'm a big Hammerstone fan, so I keep up with a lot of Hammerstone
stuff. I don't even remember the match. There were some matches, and I think they were okay, but this just ruined it. I mean, I get. Okay, here's another thing that happened. Right? Okay, so Akira Kwan or whatever comes in, and he's mad and upset and blah blah blah, and gets squashed by the EJ Izuki kid, the big Jack Black guy that was a football player or something.
Oh yeah, I know you're talking about.
Squashed. I mean, squashed.
You get Jack nor shit, huh?
Gets on the microphone. I didn't come here to be a stepping stone. Give me your best. Out comes Fatu, squashes him again. So now, Fatu, who's murdering people, can only beat up guys that have already been killed.
Wow.
But Akira Kwan's the street's toughest man, fights back lot. You know, he's the dirty white boy. You know, he's a hired assassin, and he can't get a move on people. Come on, Golden Boy Joe Kazana. You freak, won't you?
No, he got moves in Smoky Mountain.
MLW, man.
Wow. No, I haven't turned it on in a little while.
Again, I just watched
the
that
Hammerstone
episode
stuff.
because you had told me about that, so I wanted to pop it in, see if I could catch up.
But his turn was pretty good, wasn't it? Did you like it?
I didn't make it.
You didn't.
I quit watching. Between being upset about the Fatu thing, and then they putting over Akira Kwan as this amazing hired assassin getting squashed, only for him to get on the microphone and go, I want a real fight, and getting squashed again. Come on, man.
You made me sit all the way through some really bad lucha. That ain't fair.
The really bad lucha, at least entertaining.
No, not by much.
If you watch it and you're not mad, I'm going to be surprised.
I'll let you know. I will sit down and watch it.
Dude.
And I'll tell you what, that'll be the next one we review. So go back and at least watch the last match.
It was like 3 weeks ago.
Okay.
Back.
Okay.
So, well, it was the first MLW Fusion episode 1 or whatever. Like the newest, like, you know, they left.
Yeah, and come back.
And now they're coming back.
I got you.
So, it was the first episode. And, dude, I'm way, way disappointed. I couldn't make it through it.
All right, I'll see if I can outdo you and make it through it.
I mean, could you think of, like,
no,
Stone Cold?
I didn't see that coming.
The Undertaker just sacrificed Stephanie McMahon. And then he goes, you know, I'm only this way because, you know, I had a rough life, man. Like, life was real hard, and
my family got burned up by Kane.
Yeah, you know, had I not set the funeral parlor on fire, you know, life would have turned out different. I mean, I murdered my parents and all, but you know, I mean, you know, I was a kid. You know, I was only 28 years old when I set them on fire.
And he made it to mayor. So,
I mean, God, man, ruined him. Like, nah, bro. Like, I want to see this shit. Yeah, well, you know.
That's a nice little rampage you went on there.
My bad. On a positive note,
that was almost as good as your poop emoji one that time.
Oh. Don't even get me started.
Well, so don't watch MLW, but I gotta watch this one just to make it through it.
I'm disappointed. Let's just leave that.
Okay.
Positive note, MLW's back. From the streets, man. From the streets. That's all I got to say. Till next time.
Watch wrestling.
Watch wrestling.
All the way through.
If it's bad, turn it off.